What up, fellas? How's it going this morning out there? We are trying to get caught up because we've been short-handed. I'm helping the guys out. I'm doing a, is that 12? Let me see here. There's a 2011 Ram I'm updating. I had to update a couple things on it. So that's what I'm doing now. I got to update the ticket, take a picture of the confirmation of the flash. So I'm logged into the YTech right now. I don't know if that can pick it up. It may not. We're going to update this tip-in real fast on this car. And after that, we're done with this thing. So, all right, I'm gonna let it start doing this thing. Mopar is pretty simple. The easiest car to flash, in my opinion, is a Chevy. Chevy has the system, they have it right. Chrysler's just a pain in the butt because you're gonna buy all these freaking descriptions. Ford's always have issues with updates as far as getting into the system. It's okay, but that's my least favorite. Chevy's the easiest. This from me. I don't do it every day. I'm not an expert at flashing. But we have capabilities doing any Ram product, all this shit, all domestic. I'm talking about domestic brands. It seems like, to me, Chevy's the easiest, but that's just me. But like I said, we don't flash every day. So the guys that flash every day may have a different opinion, and that makes more sense. But Dodge I don't do a lot of Dodge flashes, but they seem to do well just getting into the system because we don't get into it enough. It's a pain in the butt. But the system works good. We have a pod. A micro pod down here. I don't know if you can see it. That's what I'm using to flash with, hooked up to the laptop. But yeah, that's what this will be once this thing's done. I think they have an oil pressure sensor that's bad on it, but they're trying to decide if they want to replace it, I believe is what they want to do. But full shop, you want to go around, take a look, see what's going on? I'll take you with me. Okay. I want to make sure this flash goes good. I want to walk away from the flash. That's one thing you don't want to do. Always make sure you have a battery maintainer on the vehicle right here, which we do. Make sure it's an approved battery maintainer also. You don't have a lot of noise going into the system. The Snap-on unit is. We're at 85%, so it won't be too much longer for this thing to finish up. It's installing a new block, so software block. Then I like to go through there and clear everything, start up, make sure there's no issues. Worst thing is you do a flash and there's an issue from it. The good news is we got all the parts in to finish up the Bentley. We're about done here. All right, let me update this, okay. That one's done. Let me go through here on the vehicle and just check for, we go in here and clear all these codes because there's a bunch on here real fast. All DTCs. All right, DTC's cleared. Topology. All looks good. All right, we look good. Let's cycle the key. Turn off our flasher. I'm gonna get a code for a generator or something mess up. All right, looks good. No codes. I like what I'm seeing here. It's a good sign. Make sure everything works. Because we did update the tip-in, so. Let's see if she starts up. We'll have to. Woo, that's good, boys, that's good. All right, so good news is we got no lights on the dash, no codes. We look good, we look good. All right, I'm gonna exit all this stuff, guys. Go walk around, see what the boys are doing. I know Nick's up, and he's having no fun on that Ford over there. We had an exhaust stud snap off inside of a cylinder head on a 3.5 Gen 1 EcoBoost over there. I'll show you there's an updated design on the exhaust manifold. Very, very common. Ford did change the design of it. So let's go take a look. Let's go see what they're doing. All right, Nick's over here. You might hear a cuss word or two. He's not having fun with it, but. All right, so this is the updated design. There's an additional, see how they changed the spacing of the bolts a little bit back here? This is in a different spot. This has been added, and that got pushed over from here to up here. And there's a bolt right here, you see that? They changed the design of it because it blows right here. See that right there? So that's where we're going back with a new manifold. See how it blew out there? So we got a new manifold, studs, and a bunch of nuts. But the problem is, those studs like to break. And it snapped. It's in a really bad spots back here. So right there, they're trying to get it out. You can kind of see how black it is back here because it was had an exhaust leak, pretty bad exhaust leak. So I'm gonna let Nick enjoy what he's doing over here because he's having a lot of fun. This Volvo, Kevin did a bunch of work to, a lot of work. I mean, the guy put a ton of money into it. He's never done anything but services on it the entire life of it. So we did a lot. There was some hoses, belts, tensioners, all the engine mounts, every one of them. Sway bar links, sway bar, just a bunch of stuff. You just got to aligning it. So that's all finished up right now. Nick's over in Kevin's Bay helping him out because this Jeep here, it's actually in here for multiple reasons. The reverse lights were on at all times. What we found was whoever did his aftermarket radio, when they wired in his backup camera, they wired it into the wrong wire. So it keep on the reverse lights the entire time. So we fixed that for him, and then the horn wouldn't work. There's a switch that's bad on the steering column, which I can show you because he's fixing to do that. I have it over here. These pieces right here. So I had a broken wire in one of these clips. So, and I think there's some stuff it needs. We're going to talk to the customer about it. This here was in her multiple things. AC doesn't work. It needs a compressor. Electrically, the coil has failed on it. And then it had a couple oil leaks. One was from the drain plug. We fixed that. The other one's from the oil engine cooler, which we're going to get that ordered, have that done. And I can't remember something else, I believe, that it was in for that Kevin or Nick looked at. This little thing it was in here for, kept dying on him. What we found was it kept losing power. The negative cable you couldn't get it tight. It was already clenched down all the way, but you could just take it off the battery. So we put a new terminal on there. Should take care of that problem. We have a Jaguar over here. It's in for some codes. We haven't really got it assigned to nobody. And then we have a AMG GLA 43. It's in for, we fixed one problem. The auto stop-start didn't work. It was due because the starting battery, the capacity was wrong on it. It was weak. It was an aftermarket battery. We see that actually often. So we put a new factory Mercedes battery in and did the programming for it. So, and I think it's in here for, the sunroof's not opening all the way. So you can see how many Bentley parts we have. They all finally came in. That's been a mess to source. So we can finish this project. Back at you. Tuesday, January 11th. We're still walking around what's at the shop. We have a 19 ProMaster, right? 3.6. Came in for a coolant leak. Nothing difficult. It's leaking from the thermostat housing, so it's flat. The seal's flat, so he's going back with the new thermostat. He's just bleeding out the system right now, so nothing major, pretty simple. We do have an update on the Bentley. Nick got most of the parts in. He got quite a bit changed out, as you can see here. He's got some of it off. He's waiting on this hose right now. This hose is, somebody rigged it, we found, so we have a new hose coming. Parts of this thing is just outrageous, but he's going back. There's a few other things that he's got going on. We're waiting on to go back with this. He's got a few parts up here that we got in for it. But he should have the rest of the parts hopefully by Friday. We can go back. I know he's got plugs and coils left on it, I believe. He may have finished it, but it's kind of where we're at. All right, so it's an 09 S63 AMG Mercedes. Nick's done pretty much all the fluid services on it. He did the engine mounts, transmission mount, and there's a few things that he's gonna recommend, like the bearings are a little too loose. We're gonna recommend adjusting those. Both sides are just, clearance is too much. You can have some play, but that's a bit much. So we'll have to suck that preload in a little bit. I like these older Mercedes, man. It's got the 6.3 engine, natural aspirated engine, solid. It sounds great. As long as you take good care of them, they're not bad actually. So he's going back, as you can see. He's gonna, I think this cat right here is this where it's split, Nick? Yeah. Oh yeah. Nick's gonna go around and see if he can weld that all the way around for the guy. Try to save this gentleman from buying a brand new cat, which is gonna be very, very expensive. So we're gonna try to weld this all the way around for the gentleman, take care of that for him. It should look like that. So We got a brand new, it's a 24 F250 for one of our fleet customers. You can kind of see what this truck goes for, $50,000. So this should have the old 6.8 liter V8, yep, 6.8, yep, 10 speed. Oh, poor guy. So hopefully they get the 10 speeds taken care of in 2024. No confidence, confidence level was low. We're basically, as a fleet customer, they want the bed off the older truck. They're gonna retire that truck or sell it, and we'll put it on this new truck they got. So we'll take care of that for them. Dave is working on brakes. He put some rotors on a truck over there. He's taking care of the brake system. He's finishing up the rotors now. This Subaru here, it's a little Outback. This guy put a lot into it. For an older Subaru, he did a lot of work to this. He's almost done with it, Nick is, or Bradley is. I think it's 04 Legacy. Yep, 2004, but he did. The rack was leaking, so he put a rack in it. He crushed the oil pan, so we put a new oil pan on there. Rear sway bar links, sway bar bushings, belts on it, tie rods. Quite a bit of work for an older car. You know, that money adds up pretty fast in these vehicles, but he's put money into it, so. All right, so we have a 99 Silverado here. So basically the speedometer is not working. They took the clusters to a repair place that repairs them, and they bench tested it was good. So they was at another shop where they tested the output speed sensor and they said it was good. They're correct. The output speed sensor is good. So what we found is the ECM is getting an input from the VSS, and the speedometer, well, the speed is showing up in the ECM. It's showing the correct speed. There's just no output to the cluster. So what we found was we got to the ECM, and the wire, it's a dark green and white stripe wire that outputs the speed to the cluster. I believe it's a 5-volt square wave, which it doesn't have anything, it's just grounded. So, and what we found was the PCM has been replaced. So I called the customer and said, hey, you have a new PCM in this truck. You know, what's the deal? When was it put in? Was it trying to resolve this issue now? He seemed like he didn't know he had a new PCM. And then he's like, well, I think someone else put that in a year ago at a transmission shop. So he's supposed to get back to me and let me know if there's a warranty on that PCM, when it was put in and why, so we can go forward. Finish this. It needs a PCM from what we can tell. So we can go ahead forward and get it fixed and confirm a repair. Well, that's that. Kevin just got back from a test drive. Let's go see how this goes here. He's got a 2020 Navigator, and you had a banging from underneath it.
Yeah.
The transmission mount was blown. And you see how the old one was ripped from the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you have a weird 3/4 shift?
It does. Or it's a lot better than it was before we set the adaptives. But now you can still feel a hard shift on the downshift, not so much on the upshift.
Okay, let's check for an update. Let's grab a laptop. Let's get into Ford. Let's see if there's an update available for a transmission. So it's got the 10 speed in there, so I'm sure it needs an update or something, but it's got some weird shifting. It's got 93,000 miles, so we're gonna see if there's an update for shifting through Ford. If there's not, then we'll get with the customer, see if they wanna go further with any more diagnostic testing. We think it's a software problem because we cleared the adapts and it shifted normally, and then it slowly kind of got harder and harder. So we'll go from there. Nick just got done with the S63. There's a Caravan for a radiator, nothing big. Forster's up there or Legacy's up there, sorry, for alignment, but the tow arms are shot. It needs tow. The adjustment bolts are locked on it, I think. And that's pretty much gonna be it for today. We'll see you next time. See ya. What's up, guys? 14 F-150 5.0 crank no start. We have a fuel problem for sure. I'm at the relay just checking to see if we got what we need at the relay itself here. Looks like we do have what we need here for this thing to operate, but she's not coming on, so I'm gonna go to the module next. Turn this on. That module just is not doing nothing. Looks like that's the right one. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Looks good. I'm looking for this 2.2 to go grounded, or go power actually. That one right there. I can hear it. See how it gets power going out of there? With the key, turn the key off, I'm gonna see that. That should go away. Turn the key on. So it's actually trying to prime it right now. So this relay is working. So this truck has had the relocation fuse done to it. So right now I'm just doing testing to figure out, hey, if it's been done right or if the fuse is good. So it's just a relay. The power and ground's there to close the contacts. From there, that fuse 70 now is now sending power directly to the module. From the module then sends power to the fuel pump, and that's kind of where we're at now. We'll have to get to the module and see if the module's bad, but it does look like we need a fuel pump module in this car. So at every sign I'm seeing is that's the case, because we have a gauge on it. We have absolutely zero fuel pressure. Fuel pump's been commanded on the entire time, and she's not coming on. So that's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna rack it, take a look at the fuel pump module, confirm there's no output coming out of it, and we're done. Go ahead and rack it. It looks like that's kind of where we're at on it. It won't be a very hard test, it'll be very simple. I'm gonna get the schematic for him so we can do that. I'm gonna go ahead and unhook this charger for you, bud. All right. Fuel pump modules are more common down east and probably up north than down here in the south and mid, because we don't have a lot of corrosion down here. And that the module sits on that frame, it gets corroded. That's usually what happens to it. In this case, it's probably not gonna be corroded, it's just gonna be bad. We'll tap on it, and most likely once you tap on it, it should work. But let me look at the schematics for him real fast. There you go. All right, here's a fuel pump control module. We need to verify the power is going into it. That's it. And output, input and output. That's all you need. Ground power, then output power. Pretty cut and dry at this point. You just follow the data. That's all you need to do is follow data, guys. Sometimes getting data is hard, and that's the tough part. Input, ground, output. That's all you need. Nothing else makes a difference. Your output's going to be the yellow wire. Oh, it does ground too. So you need pin 6 and so it provides power and ground to it. So we're going to need to make sure it has both of those. As long as you have that, you're good. I got what we need, big dog. I don't need this anymore. We know this is good. This is a pretty basic. This is nothing special about this. We're just following the data, actually doing the testing procedure to see what the result is. I mean, we could have a broke wire. I mean, I don't know. We just know we got to go to the pump module, and from there we'll have our answer. And we need to load it up too, not just check it on the power probe. Get some kind of a decent load on there. Going up. All right, let's do this. Let's check what we got here. Module's on top of this frame rail. Not in the damn tires in the way. Wipe all the tires. All this dirt off it. I don't want to disturb it too much. I might as well just check it now, because usually you disturb it, it can start working on you, and then you're pissed off because it starts working. I need pin 6 is yellow and violet, and pin 8 is white and brown. Here's a pin, that one right there. There's always power going to this, constant power going to this thing. Let me turn on this fuel pump here, because the relay's on from the key, and this right here would actually command the pump on. So, on, and she's not coming on. No output. Let's make sure we have input, because we have no output, that's for sure. All right, we should have pin 1, violet and green. All right, if we have the power here, we're making a call. It needs a pump. We'll tap on it and see if we can get it to work. But right now, kind of what we are suspicious we're going into. Wiring looks fine. See the issue to that. Oh, there's power. I know it's not loaded, but I'll put some kind of load on it real fast. I'm confident we're good here because we have no output, which tells me there's a bigger problem. I'm gonna see this light up. All right, see that lighting up? It's not a huge load. It's only about 500 milliamps, but it tells me it can at least carry that. All right, so I'm gonna go back to the output and I'm gonna bang on this and see if we can get this thing to send some fuel out. This is your output wire right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There should be ground going into it. Our ground going in looks good. I'm going to beat. We'll have the pump come on and everything if this works. I'm gonna get me a wrench or a screwdriver. I'm gonna beat on it. Oh, yeah, probably a wrench. Yeah, here we go. Okay. There it goes. See it? See it? You hear the pump? Listen to it. Brrr. That's what it was. So 100% confirmation, no doubt about it. She needs a fuel pump control module. This is why this has been an intermittent problem. And I'm gonna do a video response to a YouTube video we had. Someone asked about the same concern. Well, we'll go over what we found. Hopefully this will help him. We'll tag him in this. Good morning. All right, little shop tour here. Bentley, Nick did a bunch of work on, and We ran into a few snags, a couple parts we didn't have, but I believe we got everything in for him. Let's go look. He's working on a AMG right now, but Nick's got, there was an electrical connector he found broke. It looks like he put some of this stuff on. Did you already do most of this stuff already? So he's got a belt, he's got a connector, he's got an auxiliary water pump, a bunch of cylinder head temp sensors, some bolts. Oh, he got suspension stuff left he's got to do. He's got a bunch of suspension down here. And he's got hoses, filters, coils, some plugs, a valve for the transmission, and then, what is this? Coolant pump, it says. Must be a coolant pump somewhere that I didn't know about. He's got a bunch of O-rings. He's got a bunch of work still to do. He's got to reseal the turbo lines. He's got some work, so it's a project for him. It's a big job, man. That's a massive job. So he's got an 09. This is, I think we went over this a little bit. It's an 09 S63 AMG. It's got the 156 motor. It's a W221 chassis. The car is in actually really good shape. Nick's is making it look perfect right now. This gentleman did everything on it. He went through everything. So Nick's doing the disc for the drive shaft. Both ends were cracking, so he's taking care of that. Besides that, man, Nick's got this in great order. The customer already had brand new suspension put on it. He was going to the dealership, and he wasn't happy at all with the results and what he's been paying. So he cut him short because he was doing a little bit at time because he's under a budget, but he just wasn't happy with the time frame, and then they had some mistakes, and then the cost of it was pretty high actually. So he came by here, he was a first time customer. He brought me his quote, what he needs to finish, and he compared it to my quote after I was done. We're quite a bit cheaper for him. I hate saying cheap, but less expensive, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's actually, this car is actually in really good shape. The engine's great in this car, the 156, great engine. Plenty of power, sounds awesome. Pretty sweet car actually. I wish they made the new ones like this where, you know, they're so reliable. This one here, he's fighting at the gas tank that it keeps clicking off. It will not allow it to fill up. The vent system's not right. So we've looked at it a couple times, just trying to see what the problem is. We unhooked some hoses, filled up, and now we're gonna just drop the tank because he said, after talking to him, all happened after a fuel pump replacement. So we're gonna go double check the work. This is a van that we just do some work on. We're finishing up. This needs a belt, nothing special. This is one of our regular customers. He was trying to replace the shifter, I believe the shifter bushing, and something broke on it. So we're just gonna put a cable on it. He actually brought us the cable, which is great because some of this stuff's difficult to find on these older vets. So I kind of like that. This is one of our vendors here. We're gonna do another bed swap for them. Basically, they buy a new truck. We take the bed off the old truck, put it on the new truck, wire everything in. So we do that for them. This little Celica here, she's burning oil and losing coolant. So he's doing a leak on it right now, David is. This truck here had no speedometer. We're still working on it. We're waiting on parts. And I'll let you know what we find on that one. Kevin, is in the middle of replacing this engine on this 18 Ram 2500, 6.4 liter, getting the stuck oil pan on there. But this truck here, the surprise in this truck is, it's got EGR, which is a pain in the butt. So this had a nasty engine knock. And here's what's crazy. So I'm gonna get you, here's what's funny. This customer's never been here before. And he called me and he's like, hey, I want to get an engine for my truck and all this yet. I said, well, if you want any kind of warranty, we need to provide the engine. We need to install it. And if you take an engine to a shop, you're gonna have no warranty, and if that engine goes out, you're gonna be pretty upset when you find out that no one's gonna honor anything on that. He's like, send me a quote. I sent him a quote for a Mopar remanufactured 6.4, and he's like, book me. I was like, man, that was fast. He's like, yeah, you were cheaper than the dealership just to do cams and lifters on it. So he got a quote from the dealership up here, and he's like, just to do the camshaft and lifters was more than I'm quoting him to do the whole engine job. And I gave him a pretty smoking deal on the engine. I had a pretty good rebate that was offered for it. I just passed it on to him. I didn't really care. Here is the engine kit right here. We'll do a separate video going over it. Nice looking engine though. Very impressed by Mopar, what they did with it, and I'll go over that in the video. But that's kind of where that is. And then Bradley just brought in a Forester. It's an Outback, I'm sorry. Don't send me for that. It's an Outback. So the bushings are blown out on the trailer, the tow arms, basically, trailing arms, whatever you want to say what they are, but the adjustment bolts, the cam bolts are seized on there, rusted, and they've been rounded out, and it's been that way for a while. So he did all this work to it, and we got to align it, and I'm like, there's no way to align this properly without getting the back set first. So I got SPC. This is a different design arm. This one goes like this, and this one goes like this, but you can adjust you're able to do adjustments to get the suspension right on, dialed in just right in the back. Instead of going back with the bushings or something, which it cost me more actually, we took the price on it. This kit was the best solution for him. So you can adjust it, get it right. That's what he's fixed to do. Replace these arms, then he's go get it dialed in on the alignment rack and he'll be good to go on this thing. That's pretty much it. This is Lightning. We'll go over what we're doing with that. We're not totally done with that. Actually, the vendor I was dealing with, I gotta get a hold of them because they were supposed to email me something and never did. All right, guys, I hope you liked the content today on the video. Make sure you share this, subscribe, leave a comment here, help the channel grow. Till the next time, see ya.